If you could revive one person from the dead, who would it be? Well, for how long? That's like a more important question. What was the worst part about high school? What's the worst response to, I'm pregnant? Hi, pregnant. I'm dad? Oh, okay, yeah, it's a question still. Oh, would you look at that? We are out of milk. Oh, more just showed up. Get it? Because when people are pregnant, their boobies make milk. I need to never speak again. So am I. Yeah, that one's bad if you're not. I am so sorry. At least in today's times, yeah, that's kind of one of those. Say goodbye to your dreams. Now, why would anybody have the nerve to say this? Like, that's just rude. What's worse than stepping on a Lego? The only thing in existence that hurts more than stepping on a Lego is getting hit in the ankle with the side of a scooter. My little sister is a monster and bangs her stainless steel scooter into my feet on purpose because she thinks me wailing in pain is funny. I want to throw out that scooter so bad, but my parents will probably buy her another one. Throw the sister out instead. Yeah, that sounds like the easiest solution. Accidentally biting a chunk off the inside of your cheek whilst eating. I would have had more of a problem with this, but you really do just chomp a big old chunk of cheek out of your mouth. Stepping on a landmine. Alright, looks like we have a wise guy here. When you have socks on, go into your kitchen area and step into wet. God, our freezer just like drops ice everywhere, so it happens more than you would like. Lego stepping on you. Oh, how the turntables. What is a word that sounds inappropriate? I'm a little scared to answer these. Ball. It's a type of valve. Also, stop and silk. They said uvula, dangly bit in your throat. Oh, so it's a girl house. I've seen a gas station called Munchin Pump, and while those two words separately are fine, together they are very uncomfortable. Manhole. I don't see what's so wrong about that. Masticate, especially at the dinner table. Those mukbangers masticate all over the place. What does masticate mean? Don't leave me out of the joke. Dongle. How low does your dongle dangle? What goes best with milk? For me, Lactaid. Alternatively, pairs well with a night on the towel. Cereal. A serial killer. Oreo cereal? Babies. I prefer babies with gravy, but keep the barbecue sauce around for the ribs. Turns out, not my dad. He still can't find it. Oh, he found it all right. What are you talking about? 6 foot stogie, what are you talking about? Pepsi. My grandpa's friend Laverne and Shirley made this famous. God, not Pilk. Stop talking about Pilk, please. What's the most ridiculous, far-fetched conspiracy you've ever heard? That Eminem died like a decade ago and his body double has been posing as him so they can still release new music to make money. What kills me about all these "the original artist is dead" conspiracies is they assume that an equally talented, very similar looking person is just available to take over. And if that's the case, should we really care? I feel like it's something to be concerned about if a person died and we just replace them. The sky is a shield made by the government, I don't know which one specifically, so that we can't see God. Or what if God did it so he didn't have to look at us? Australia is fake and Aussies are all actors. Well, this is true. I can confirm I'm technically employed by these Australians, but I've never seen it on a map, so kinda weird. Hallmark cards invent celebration days to sell more greeting cards. You're trying to tell me that Hallmark invented Flag Day? Why would they do that? That AskReddit is a place where normal people ask questions, and it's not just the FBI asking people things for collecting data. I thought it was that AskReddit was just BuzzFeed writers desperate for list ideas. Yeah, and stupid quizzes, man. No. AskReddit is actually specifically designed for this YouTube channel and this YouTube channel only. What's a good name for a pet T-Rex? Dave, agreed. I love animals that are just given regular names, normal names, like, oh, hey, Steve, and it's just a poodle. Terry the T-Rex? Yeah, that's simple and easy. Rex. All right, that's kind of in the non-imaginative zone. Gotta get that up. Gotta work on that. Tiny the T-Rex, that works too. Nom Nom. All right, that is cute and fun, but how are you gonna call him out? Hey, Nom Nom, come on over here. All right, I guess it works. Who's an actor or actress that played a role too well? Anthony Hopkins. Hannibal Lecter. For him to be still referenced as the best Hannibal Lecter, it's insane. Like, clearly he sold it. Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl. Oh yeah, just pure evil, but you do kind of start rooting for her. Robin Williams, The Birdcage. Robin Williams bathrooms in 20-hour photo. The f***? The only thing I know about 24-hour photo is that Robin is like a maniac, but he does also advertise Neon Genesis Evangelion, so I'm in for it. Heath Ledger's Joker. Guy literally went insane. Joaquin Phoenix as well. Very different sides of the spectrum for playing the character, but both are so good. Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada. That woman was a force of nature in the movie. That's all. Imelda Staunton as Dolores Umbridge. Oh my god, yeah, way too good. Like, it's burned into my brain how much I did not like her. What were your parents right about? Naps are a privilege. You see, I just can't take naps. It just throws me off. When I was 17, I was a young chap. Thought I was such an adult. My dad literally told me once after mouthing off to him, "You don't know about life or the real world." And he was correct. Once again, I'd like to give a solemn apology for that awful accent. I just saw chap and I thought I should do it. The older I get, I realize they were right about just about everything. You can't trust everyone. You can trust me. Just send me your credit card info and I'll prove it. Bees don't attack if I don't get scared. I'm not sure about that one. I don't trust them. What is the dumbest way you got a scar? For me, it was my brother chomping his tooth into my forehead. I won't go into it. Slice the web of my thumb to the bone, cutting a block of cheese. New knife. Free sauce. Ew. Gross. I spilled soup in my lap and got second-degree burns. Still have them a decade later. Oh, that's gotta be so rough. I, male 65, caught my upper arm on barbed wire sneaking into the county fair when I was around 16. I still have a 2-inch scar. The worst part was that we got caught by a cop on horseback within 5 minutes and kicked out. I have 2. 1. Don't cut towards yourself. 2. Kitty bath time. Took a razor blade and slid it against my finger to see if it was truly sharp. Had to hide in the bathroom so no one would punish me for being that stupid. It was indeed sharp. Supermaned right off the couch into the coffee table when I was 5. I still have the scar on my forehead 35 years later. Oh god, for it to be that bad? I'm so sorry. What's the worst place to be stuck in for 12 hours? If you work in a fast food restaurant, you know the answer. A septic tank on a 100-degree day. Being in one in general doesn't sound fun. Traffic. Oh my lord, what a hell you must live in if you have 12-hour traffic. Dangling over the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that would probably suck for 12 hours. The fucking airport. In the plane, on the runway. Yeah, I think that's the worst, having to sit in these tiny cramped little seats for that long? Unreasonable. Hanging upside down on a roller coaster. Yeah, you would be dead. That happens all the time. What is your go-to song in karaoke? I don't do karaoke too often, but probably All-Star. It's easy. Mr. Brightside is a lot of fun. Roses by Outkast. Ooh, yeah, that'll really funk up the karaoke place. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Now that'll hit with all of the dads. Careless Whisper by George Michael. Alright, if you're trying to seduce someone, that will work. Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. You know, I hate it because every time I think of that song, I think of Adam Sandler now. What movie has the best opening scene? Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, for immersing a viewer into the movie, that one just jumps you right into it. The Fellowship of the Ring. I'm having trouble remembering, so I know Robin's gonna kill me later. The Dark Knight. What was the opening to The Dark Knight? I'm not smart. Cars. Yeah, Cars did do a pretty good job of introducing you to this world of talking cars. Pulp Fiction. But you don't really get it until the last scene. Ah, shit. I shot Marvin in the face. Hey, that's not the quote from the beginning. You're lying. Which lyrics are stuck in your head forever? My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I want to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure, etc. TikTok really makes anything a sound now, huh? I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. Ugh, Tub Thumpin' by Chumbawamba. Come on. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No. It's much better to face this kinds of things with a sense of poise and rationality. Who sings that? I don't know. We don't talk about Bruno. Ugh, love Frozen 2. You didn't have to cut me off like that cousin. I don't even need your love. Yeah, that guy really just went full gibberish in that line, huh? What line from The Simpsons never fails to make you laugh?
Me fail English? That's impossible. impossible!
Ralph Wiggum. What an adorable little idiot. That is also the conclusion of my Simpsons impressions. You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel. No clue who says that, honestly. It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no kids and 3 money? What is something you need to get off your chest? I have 2 regrets in life. I've told no one, and I won't even tell unknown strangers on Reddit. But thanks for asking. Okay, I mean, fair enough. My bra. Too true. I should probably be wearing a bra. Oh god, did I just say that out loud? In primary school, we did a bake sale, and they said make things from scratch, but then I got a pre-made mix and made them, and I told no one. I mean, well, what else are you supposed to do in primary school? Like, what? They expect you to know how to bake? I don't like cats. I want to give her away, but my family won't let me. Well, if it's the family cat, then yeah, you're not allowed to give it away. One time, I farted in the car with my parents, and it smelled really bad, and I said it wasn't me, and they thought someone's septic tank was having serious problems. Well, hey, at least you got away with it, until this moment when they see the video. What's one dish from Disney/Nickelodeon/any cartoon show you've always wanted to try? A Krusty Krab pizza, because it's the pizza for you and me. A damn Krabby Patty. Honestly, yeah, but you did spell it wrong. It's spelled with a K. So no Krabby Patty for you then. The family meal from Coraline before it all went to Yeah, that food did look really nice. I mean, it does suck that you have to put stuff in your face before you can eat it, but it is still nice. The beignets that Tiana makes in Princess and the Frog. I haven't seen Princess and the Frog in a long time, so I don't remember what they look like. They do sound really yummy. Basically anything shown in a Studio Ghibli movie. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, they have the answer. This is the answer. What concerns you the most about teenagers today? That they're all really mean to me. I'm really getting sick of it. I pay taxes. Repeats all the talking points people said about millennials. Repeats all the talking points people said about Gen Xers. Doing something stupid to be internet famous. Stupid and funny, but still stupid AF. Being stupid online is kind of like the bridge between all generations, I think. Everybody can be stupid and maybe get famous. Their parents. Is that because their parents didn't do a good job at disciplining, or what's the point? How hard their lives are. I can't tell if this is like a dig because, teenagers have it easy or whatever, because honestly right now it's pretty rough, I'd say. Nothing. Let them be kids already. Yeah, for real. We gotta start leaving teenagers alone, unless they are super disrespectful and like entitled, then yeah, you can like bully them or something, I don't know. You're on a 6-hour flight and at a window seat when a person arrives at your row to sit next to you. What sort of person are you hoping to see? Quiet, clean/orderly, tidy. Thought that said titty. Titty is a plus though. Alright, you nasty boys, knock it off. Hopefully no one, and it's an empty seat. This is the correct answer. Yeah, honestly, it is a luxury to have nobody sit in your row with you because you can lay out on the seats, but god, is it rare. Sounds like a lot of people here really don't want to talk to strangers on a 6-hour flight. I don't want to talk to strangers most of the time, not just on a 6-hour flight. It sounds like you might be a loud, chatty person. Someone who doesn't use Axe deodorant, especially musk or chocolate fragrance. God, the chocolate one was like the nastiest to me, like blech. Anybody but the pilot. Oh yeah, that would be kind of awful if the pilot just wandered on back and sat next to you. What's currently stopping you from being rich? I eat too much avocado toast and I drink the Starbucks. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you think I'm gonna say? Not having a lot of money. Yeah, I guess that's a good enough reason why you're not rich yet. Splurging money brings me temporary happiness. This is a fair answer. That's kind of what mine is. Too much avocado toast. See, there it is. I knew it. I need to buy an iced coffee every time I leave my house. I'm sure. I'm dumb and my parents aren't rich. That is kind of a bad spawn point, huh? There are 2 kinds of people. What are they? Those who shoot monsters and those who shoots little Tiffany holding quantum physics textbooks late at night. Yeah, why is she running around learning quantum physics if she's only in like 6th grade, huh? It's Men in Black if you didn't get it. Those who can extrapolate from incomplete data, and those who finish sentences. People who think there's only 2 kinds of people, and people who know that's nonsense. Those who breathe and those who don't. This feels like the penultimate answer. I mean, there's alive, and then there's dead, and meh. Those who complete lists, and penguins. Thanks, cheese fondue. What terrible movie had an amazing concept? Has everybody forgotten about that one movie Netflix released on their platform that starts with the letter C? Any more hints? letters. Total letters, 6. Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's not a terrible movie. I wouldn't say terrible, but I love the idea more than the way they executed it. Felt all over the place, but I guess that was the point? This person is just wrong. That movie is amazing in so many ways. Sorry, I won't talk about it more, but they're wrong. In Time. Yeah, this is a good answer. In Time always seemed so interesting, but like the pacing was wrong and just meh. Overall. The Crimes of Grindelwald and The Secrets of Dumbledore. Yeah, these movies have just gotten so forgettable that I didn't even bother seeing Secrets of Dumbledore. Spoiler alert, the secret is that he's gay. But not in China. The Mask. An ancient cursed artifact that when worn transforms you into an incarnate of your most repressed impulses and desires. I think the first Mask is pretty solid. I don't know why they bothered trying to force a sequel out of it, but I don't know. Hollywood's weird, I guess. People who've met celebrities. What were they like? Spike Lee has pushed me on 3 different occasions. That's hilarious. Okay, but why and how? Post Malone was just chilling in the lobby of my local movie theater, Midwest. He had a show the next day. Pretty chill dude. Took a selfie, said, "I like your stuff, man. I'll see you tomorrow." He thanked me graciously and was a bro about it. 20-second interaction, and he wasn't a douche or mad like other famous people are. Didn't see himself as above anyone. He blended in very well on his own. Post Malone was a Minecraft kid, so you never know. Ryan Gosling was very friendly and down to earth. However, this was back in 2001. What, do you have evidence that Ryan Gosling is a mean guy? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, fame gets to people, but come on. I told Dan Mariano that I loved him in Ace Ventura. He was not amused. Wendy Williams was nice, I guess. So jealous. I love her, honestly. The hubby hates her, though. I think most men do. She was nice, though. He doesn't like how she takes pauses and sucks in air through her teeth. He hates the sound it makes. I do not like Wendy Williams, but you cannot deny that the things that she says and pumps out into the world are hilarious. Just by pure, unawareness. What is something that you genuinely hate? People who keep talking over me while I'm talking to them. It stresses me out a lot. People who chew/breathe loudly or weirdly, and people that don't understand personal space. The "we don't talk about Bruno" song. Yeah, that's the issue with a lot of music marketed in movies, is that it's just too much. They don't know when to stop. Acapella music. I guess you're allowed to say that, but have you ever seen Pitch Perfect? That's what I thought. Mint in chocolate. I will fight you. Okay, he didn't say mint chocolate chip ice cream, so I think we're safe. Who is your favorite movie villain and why? Heath Ledger's Joker. The way he takes over any scene he's in is breathtaking. Megamind. Do I even need to explain? Olo. Harry Potter. He's so convincing. Wait a minute. Gru from Despicable Me. Yay. Mother Gothel, because she is absolutely hot as shit. Alright, the horny boys need to go home. What was the worst part about high school? High school. More specifically, high school. Yes, I hated high school. Yes, all the things high school. All of it. Don't forget about high school. That was the worst part. Getting called on to turn the light off with a boner. Whoa, okay, left field on that one. The part that was high school. Alright, everybody, you're gonna have to get those creative juices flowing. Find a different answer. I don't remember anything that didn't suck. It's not a musical. Oh yeah, Disney just lied. I thought we were gonna be having fun, and instead I was crying. What's something that you firmly believe that Reddit will hate you for? Using emojis. We're in this together. Do you guys use emojis? Because you didn't use them there, so you're not super strong on that point. Great question. I'm not gonna answer because I don't want to be banned. Whoa, what does that mean? Fun Royale, what does that mean? Those ladies on The View are fucking idiots. That's the most non-controversial, factual, accurate post in this thread. Yeah, I don't know why they felt like if you're in the View subreddit, then sure, obviously. I put the milk before the cereal. I feel like that's a universal thing that is just wrong and you will be found. Pineapple on pizza is a gift from the gods. I agree with them. Fight me. I don't care. Nice try, Reddit. Oh yeah, this is just Reddit trying to find people to hate. What are some very comforting facts? Cows have best friends. This is moving to know. Thank you. If you make it to the airport without dying, you've already passed the deadliest part of plane travel. Airplane safety presentations have left the chat. It is illegal to own less than 2 guinea pigs in Switzerland due to them being social animals. Discarding this rule would be considered abuse. When a cat purrs on you, they're basically healing you. How so? Like, is this like a magic thing or just... Okay, most people don't think about you. Comforting, you say? I can kind of see what they're meaning. It's like people aren't thinking about you, so like you don't need to be like self-conscious because nobody's really thinking about it like that. Like hopefully you get it. If you could revive one person from the dead, who would it be? Well, for how long? That's like a more important question. Harambe. Yeah, I know all of you are giggling that's a good answer. It is a gorilla in a zoo. Sorry. Technoblade. R.I.P. Techno. Yeah, I didn't personally know him or watch his content, but definitely gone way too soon. Kurt Cobain, so we could find out what actually happened. That is actually kind of an interesting answer, one I really haven't heard before. Bob Ross, the world needs him, and we really needed him during the pandemic. Betty White, oh god, this one was just to make me feel bad about all the people that died recently. Come on! Oh god.
What is the dumbest idea you have ever had that actually worked? Wearing a motorcycle helmet while snow blowing. I did it because I missed riding. It kept my face warm, and when snow would fly back at me, the visor would protect me. When I was younger, I got called into HR because I drew a very detailed picture of a penis. It was really, really good. The HR meeting happened like a week after I drew it, and my only defense was, I don't recall doing that. Do you happen to have the picture? It might jog my memory. They didn't have it, of course, because I had it, and because I didn't confess, they couldn't do Investigation results inconclusive. Have a nice day. A storm broke a limb on a tree hanging over my house in my backyard, but it was still hanging on by a few splinters. I didn't want it to fall, and it wasn't in a place where I could use my ladder to get it, so I found a rope, tied a brick to it, threw the brick and rope over the limb, made a crude rope swing, and swung and pulled the branch until it finished breaking. It wasn't until I was using the chainsaw to cut it up that I realized how many times during my stupid idea I could have easily hurt or even killed myself. A friend and I once snuck 15 people into a warp core by giving them bracelets from a party supply store and clipboards full of paper. Walked up to the side gate and said we were with the Rock the Vote. The security guard waved us right in. I forgot to bring a resume to a job interview, but I had an index card in my bag. I cut the index card in half and wrote my name, my contact info, and creative problem solver in my best handwriting, and gave a copy of my business card to both the interviewers. I got the job. When I was young and broke, I bought a sofa from a used furniture store. I had no way to take the sofa home. I went to a used car lot a couple of blocks away and took a truck for a test drive. That's genius. That's actually genius. Not my idea, but my mom's. I dropped one of my earrings and couldn't find it, so she threw my other earring on the floor and it happened to land right next to the first one. Put Jesus in as a Wi-Fi password in church. It worked. Hello everybody, welcome back to Ask EmKay. My name is Mason. We got some posts to get through, so let's get going. Without saying what the category is, what are your top 5? Youth of today, quicksand, rival schools, gorilla biscuits, Warzone. I could not tell you what that means. Katana, trespass, wizard, firebird, Vulcan. Again, nothing. I got nothing. Chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, hamburgers, french fries, chicken tenders. Yoga pants, 10 out of 10 with rice. HQG, Nicolas Cage, and Leroy Jenkins. Fresh asphalt, mint, nail polish remover, my own farts, and meat on the grill. That one's gotta be best smells. Lavernica, Dickensi, Brutalitops, Mar, Bing Bong, Kansas City, Denver, Chicago, Oklahoma, Wichita. How would you feel if underwear had butt cheek sizes? A, B, C, double D, etc. Just like bra cup sizes, but for your butt. I would compare cheek sizes with my homies. I'm fine with it, as long as there's a Hank Hill equivalent size. Small butts matter too. Then I'd be able to buy pants that fit. Mine would be a size W, the W standing for wagon. I would think I would end up feeling insecure about the size of my butt, because I would know how it falls on a scale, and like right now I can pretend like it's nice, as it used to be. But we all know it's closer to a pancake than it ever has been before. I don't need someone to tell me. Honestly, I would rather women's shirts come in cup sizes. When you're large busted, they all fit poorly. I'd be able to quantify my butt size goals. This would be life-changing. Do you know how frustrating it is to buy underwear for a small size waist but a big ass is always trapped in between cheeks? So uncomfortable. I'm all for this. I would fucking love that, because I might have the hips of a horse, but I got the of a malnourished child. Lamau. Honestly, I think it could make shopping more difficult. I can barely find my bra size in a store. I don't want to go on a treasure hunt just to find underwear too. Also, men would get more annoying. It's bad enough they have the audacity to ask women their cup size. I don't want to be bothered about my size too. Partners of sleep talkers or sleepwalkers, what gems have you to share? My boyfriend once blurted out, "You're putting bread in my ears," in his sleep. Mumbled something unintelligible, followed up with, "And I'm becoming a sandwich." Still makes me laugh whenever I remember. Fantastic sleep songs with lyrics which are utterly bizarre. far, my two absolute favorites have been, oh, whoa, whoa, it's a corner cat, obey my rules and you'll always be a country cowboy. Repeated about 5 times and finished with a, yeah. I'm the sleep talker. A long while back, my fiance was working a job where she didn't get home until after midnight. She came home one night and was leaning over the table on my side of the bed. She swears up and down that I looked up at her, smacked her on top of the head, and when she asked what the hell, that I told her I was checking to see if she was a ghost. Now, I do remember having a dream like this, but in my dream, my hand did go through her head, proving she was a ghost. My aunt likes to tell the story about her and my cousin sharing a hotel room one time. My aunt woke up having to pee and found my cousin sitting up in a bed with her arms folded across her abdomen, kind of rocking back and forth, giggling quietly. That's horrifying. When my aunt asked her what she was doing, my cousin said, I'm holding a baby and has an adult smile. I found this story deeply unsettling. I feel like any sane person would. He started shouting that he couldn't feel his left arm. I pointed out he was pinching his pillow, not his arm. He then freaked out that he had lost his arm. I pointed out his arm was under his pillow. He said okay and started snoring. It took me another hour to go back to sleep. He didn't wake up at all. My girlfriend was sleepwalking one night. Can we get that done this week? Huh? Can we get that done this week? Sorry. Can we get that done this week, please? Okay, thanks. I'd be the king of Monaco. My wife said this one night out of nowhere. The funniest part was her tone of voice, proud and assertive, like she was really sure of her claim to the throne. Anyway, joke's on her. Monaco is a principality. My brother did that in the middle of the night. He would get up, go into the living room, and say some nonsense to our parents and go back to bed. It was actually pretty creepy the first times because he was like, they are in the walls. They are. Napping with the boyfriend, a loud noise wakes me, but he's still out. Me, what was that? Him, either a tree or a magic eraser. My wife started screaming one night that she was lost in the grocery store and that no matter where she went, she couldn't find her way out. I asked her, has she tried to check out at the registers? She then looked at me and said in her most sincere voice, that's why you're the smartest person I know. And she rolled over and fell back asleep. Ex-roommate talked in his sleep. Once he cried out, no, Gandalf! You will get $10 million cash, but Samuel L. Jackson will be there to shout, motherfucker, for every dollar you spend. Will you be happy and why? If you just invest it, never touch it, and just spend the actual capital gains / interest, does that count as spending the dollars for the motherfuckers? I imagine the motherfuckers would start the moment you hand over your cash to the bank. That or a philosophical discussion on the nature of money. I wouldn't spend a single dollar in the hopes that it keeps the miracle that is Sam Jackson alive until he has yelled for every dollar that I'll never spend. 120-year-old Sam Jackson screaming, why won't you motherfuckers let me die? Would be both funny and sad. So if I spend $50, he's there shouting motherfucker 50 times. I feel like I'd enjoy it way more than he would. He'd probably lose his voice by the end of the day. I'd buy him out of whatever cruel cosmic deal he signed up for to help him escape from the hell of monitoring my purchases until he dies. Where is the downside? It takes around 1 second for Samuel L. Jackson to say motherfucker. If I spend all 10 million in one go, he will be saying motherfucker for 115 days straight. I'd say that's money well spent. I would have so much fun with this during moments of silence. The money tray that gets passed around in a church, donations to your local library. Yeah, man, $10 million and Samuel L. Jackson is basically my new best friend. Sign me up twice. Charge people $2 for every $1 I spend in order to meet Samuel L. Jackson. What are some very comforting facts? Scientists earlier this year made a massive breakthrough in curing blindness, like verging a cure. It was masked by the virus headline though. Crows and ravens love to play in the snow. One of their favorite activities is rolling hills. All those embarrassing, cringy memories that come flooding into your mind when you least expect it, nobody else remembers them. Every last one of us has them. It's part of this complicated process called living. While you're busy remembering yours, everyone else is remembering their own. It's in the past. Nothing you can do right now can make it any better. Chalk it up as a lesson and reek the experience. Bees take naps in flowers. So yeah, it's okay to need a nap. Even busy bees do. If you make it to the airport without dying, you've already passed the deadliest part of plane travel. Cows have best friends. Some fish like to be pet. Goldfish can recognize their owner. Damn, he'd been watching you this whole time and you didn't even know. There's a volunteer organization called No One Dies Alone. You're at Sacred Hearts Medical Center, you're terminal, you need a companion. From someone to talk to or just someone to hold your hand. They'll make sure someone will be there for you. Other hospitals have this too. Cheetahs are very shy animals, so some zoos give them support dogs like those for humans. It's the cutest thing ever. I actually knew that one. That one's very cute. In dog or wolf movies where they use real life dog actors, people who have to edit all that sometimes have to add CGI tails because the dogs can't stop wagging their tail as they are so happy. Dogs make cute little sneezing sounds to tell you that they are playing and not fighting. Jupiter's gravitational mass is so immense, modern science believes it's been protecting us from meteors for millions of years. NSFW! If you suddenly discovered that people you had fantasized about while masturbating were always fully aware of this, what would your first thoughts be? Do they know the details or just that it happened? Andy I don't want to say this. This is so weird. Andy jerked it while fantasizing about railing on the balcony while I ate out my mother is one thing. Andy masturbated to me is an entirely different. There's gonna be a lot of censors in this one. Hope that they either ignore it or join me on the fun. Do they know I know that they know? If they're still talking to you, that's probably a good sign. In most cases, this would probably just mean that a bunch of stars and celebrities would know what they already know. Hang on, people do what when they watch this? Star. Work would be awkward. Bruh. Especially weird since I'm self-employed. No! Does this include only intentional thoughts, or are weird unintentional intrusive thoughts included as well? Therefore, I'm immediately leaving for Nepal, where I intend to live as a goat. I'm gonna need to go on a bit of an apology tour. Not a long one, but still. Thank God that one's over. What's the weirdest compliment you've ever been given? In 7th grade, I wore a fanny pack to school to hold stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which I played with at lunch. Once while walking down the hallway, an 8th grader I never met before was like, "Dude, I like your fanny pack," gave me a high five and kept walking. I never saw him again, and miraculously, nobody ever picked on me about it. To my face, at least. I had pink eye, and the nurse was looking into my non-infected eye. "You have beautiful retinas." Thank you? Then I'm like a piece of furniture. Don't do much, but you notice when I'm not there. A woman I was talking to in my dad's shop thought I was not me, but my sister. When I tried to correct her that I am me, she told me, "No, you are not. Insert my name is fat and has short hair. She is not beautiful like you." Like, what the f***, lady? My 4-year-old son told me I smelled like music. When I asked what kind of music, he said, "Music you dance to." Still the best compliment I have received to date. My friends and I were talking about what kind of potatoes we'd be. One of my best friend told me, "You'd be a loaded baked potato. People pay extra for that good." An old lady once told me she wishes she was 60 years younger, then she would give me some confidence. It was the most unsettling, funniest, and somehow most charming compliment I've ever seen. "You are so tan. How did you get so tan?" "I'm Indian." Alright, then keep your secrets. Piercer, who pierced my ears back in August, told me my ears were perfect and to call her if anyone said otherwise and she would fight them for me. A teacher in high school told me several times that I had a perfectly shaped head. Someone told me my eyes were upside down. Not sure what that means or if it was a compliment, but they seem friendly. With the right makeup, you'd make a really good looking girl. I'm a guy, by the way. If life was someday proven to be a simulation, what glitch or anomaly could you point to as a major clue that we'd missed? When your pen gets lost as soon as it hits the floor and then appears right there after some time? Well, yesterday while driving with my daughter in the car, she says, "Dad, I'm starting to feel like this whole human thing isn't real." So I guess that would be confirmed as my first hint. Dreaming. How it could be a gateway to another universe or version of yourself. And how do we manage to forget most dreams, especially the important ones? Deja rêve. It's similar to deja vu, but it's where you've dreamed of a future moment. Nice try, simulation developers. Often when I learn about something new I've never heard about, all of a sudden it starts appearing randomly in some TV show I'm watching or a news or Reddit article. They should fix the targeted ad algorithm to make it less obvious I'm living in a simulation. Some get sick for no reason, and some who should be sick because of how they live seem super healthy. Millions of years of evolution and we still can accidentally bite our own tongue? That's some bullshit. The Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. When you learn something new, it seems like you see it everywhere right after that. Like a video game, when you learn some new move, then it is immediately applicable to your life. Periods. Let's leave a trail of blood for predators to follow at the same time. I'm curling up in a fetal position for cramps. Super suspicious. Sounds like it was made by the same people who put Sims in a pool and removed the ladder so they can drown. Sorry, my dog is barking. Look around the room you're in. Choose any random object within the room. What does it feel like to lick that object? You never know what it feels like to have licked it, but have you ever? Single biggest glitch in my book. The fact that the moon and the sun can just about perfectly eclipse each other. What are the odds that the moon and sun would be the sizes they are and distances from the earth that they are allowed that to happen? What's something that people think makes them look cool but actually has the opposite effect? Posting photos of cash on social media. I always think it is funny how doing that is commonly accepted, whereas if you screenshotted your bank account or net worth, you'd be an ass. Bragging about not reading. When people post their weed on Snapchat. Never admitting when you're wrong. It may seem like a confidence power play, however, most people just don't care enough about you to say anything or indicate that they noticed. They'll just slowly drift away from you till one day you're all alone, wondering why no one with any level of competence wants to hang out or work with you. When babies get excited about walking. Real fucking cool, baby. I can walk too. Please stop blasting your music in places where people cannot escape it. I see your earbuds in your pocket, please. Salvation. People listening to their voice messages with many people around. I unironically like wearing fingerless gloves for actual tasks, not just out and about. When people ask me why I wear them, I tell them it's because I'm so cool. I'm not exactly certain how uncool they make me, but I know it's a lot. Elitism. It's fucking stupid to attack someone who enjoys a hobby only just because it doesn't put his life on it. One-upping and putting other people down to make yourself look good. Rife in white-collar jobs. I despise people who do it. Being an asshole while hiding behind the "it's just a joke. Stop taking it seriously. Why can't you take a joke?" statements. Hating all genres of music, except the one they like. I learned this the hard way by only liking heavy metal and on all other music without giving it a chance as a teen. Metal's still my favorite, but all genres have good music. Not modern country though. I'm not sure if this is just an Australian thing, but people who rev their cars or motorbikes really loud, and it's usually quite late at night while most people are trying to sleep. Putting on things other people like. We all have the stuff we don't like, but if you spend all your time putting down everything a person is interested in, you don't look cool or edgy, you look like a with no interests. People who come out with life lessons and quotes. They think they are so profound and deep, but I think they come off as big-headed and stupid. Students and teachers of Reddit, what's the best forgot to turn off the mic story during virtual learning? I had to defend my thesis over Zoom, and many professors came into the call to watch. My thesis was about immune response in fish to parasites. One professor joined late and forgot to mute her mic, and we got treated to this little gem. Shh. Mommy is learning about fish parasites, which is what you'll get if you don't stop peeing in the koi pond. Bruh. Not really anything super weird. Was in a meeting with my class for the first day of school, and I had forgotten to mute myself. Then I had proceeded to start noisily baby talking my cat, who was in my lap at the time. Embarrassing. A girl's mom. Who the f*** you on the computer for this early in the morning? And asking the same thing over and over. Teacher, I think your mic is on. English Zoom call. Teacher was holding us like 15 minutes after the period had ended. She said something along the lines of, keep working arduously. And I responded with, if she says arduously one more time, I'm going to flip table. I was not on mute. Bummer. Sorry, buddy. When I was doing an online algebra camp, teacher forgot to turn off his mic while we were supposed to be doing some problems. He said, I f***ing hate math. Me too, dude. Me too. In one of my classes, this girl wrote in the Zoom chat, this is so f***ing boring, not realizing that the professor could see it. Ironically, my IT teacher forgot to turn off his mic and camera and proceeded to get in a very heated argument on the phone with his ex-girlfriend, who he has a kid with. Did I mention she's also a teacher at our school? Yeah, most awkward 5 minutes of my life before he realized. In a thermodynamics class, one of the students said, holy sh**, this is so much, after covering a large set of equations related to gasity? Everyone found it relatable. Was in training before classes started this year. 200-ish teachers. Only principal and AP were speaking. Teacher has her mic unmuted. Phone rings and picks it up and says, hey, yeah, just sitting here in one of these goddamn trainings. Somebody in my class forgot to turn off the mic and started singing along to a song, and loudly. Somebody told her, and there was this odd whoop noise, and then she cut off. I'm not a student, but work in the tech industry. I've been in meetings where people forget to mute themselves on large company calls, with hundreds or thousands of attendees, and we'll hear a fart and then a toilet flush. That's about as interesting as these meetings get, though. If Cinderella's shoe fit perfectly, why did it fall off when she ran? She had sweaty feet from dancing all night and then ran down the stairs. Chick was running in heels. I can see that happening to anybody. In the original Cinderella story, the prince spreads pitch on the stairs to trap her. Her shoe gets stuck and she takes it off to get away. Because it was a perfect fit. If it were too tight, maybe it would have stayed on. Because shoes don't encase themselves around your foot, never to be taken off again. They just fit. The other bit I found problematic in Cinderella was when she turned up at the ball, everyone thought she was a foreign princess. When the royal party went looking for her the next day, they searched the homes within the kingdom. If she was a foreign princess, wouldn't she have left the kingdom? Casting staff or directors in general, how awkward is it to hire people unattractive characters as in their whole role is being fat or ugly? You know, I was thinking about it, and personally, I'd be happier getting a role for being fat or ugly than losing a role for not being attractive enough. I've been a professional actor for over 20 years, and I can say, not awkward at all. I read that the actress that played Dolores Umbridge was told by friend, OMG, you would be perfect for that role. And then she read that Umbridge was described as toad-like in the books and was like, wow, thanks. Ugly people who become actors have transcended attaching their ego to their appearance. To actually answer the question that nobody has directly, not awkward at all. People will absolutely jump at the chance to be the ugly one. They don't really care. It might be awkward mentally for them, but it's nothing personal and they know it. Just another job opportunity. Like a classic meme goes, if someone paid you $200 but had to call you ugly, would you take it? Of course. I'm ugly, not stupid. TV ugly is not the same as actual ugly. What is a seemingly mundane question you can ask someone that will tell you a lot about their personality? What does HP stand for? Hit points. Is it not? Right? That's what it is in Pokemon, at least. Favorite compliment they've ever received. Tells you a lot about what people think of themselves and what they tend to value. What do you know Tim Curry from? Who is Tim Curry? I feel like I know him. I don't know. Do you prefer night or day? What would you do if you won the lottery? For me, it's a non-invasive way of listening to people's attitudes on finance in general, and also how they feel about the rich. Does Mike Wazowski blink or wink? He blinks. What book would you like to live in? What was the last thing you did that gave you childlike joy? Saving this thread for my next human interaction. I foresee much less awkward silence. Wish me luck. What innocent search turned out to be I was in a bowling pro shop shopping new bowling balls. Saw one called Hammer XXX. Googled it real quick without thinking anything of it. I was looking for an edging tool at Home Depot a few years back to fix the edges of my lawn around the front sidewalk. Apparently, it's a mass technique that comes up when safe search is turned off. As a mechanical engineer working in an offshore company, I needed to show an example of a spreader bar. Don't Google this at work. When I was about 10 and playing Morrowind for the first time, I wanted to find some high-level armor at a low level, so I Googled ebony. I saw a lot of things. Back in the Wild West of the net, anybody who used .com instead of .gov when when trying to get to the White House's website would find a hardcore site. My retired dad thought he would do some substitute teaching. Classroom management was a problem as he had no idea how to deal with unruly students. So, on the school computer, hit Google up for some ideas on teen discipline. I you not. One time in high school, my teacher was using her laptop via projector and we had gotten off topic talking about her pregnancy. Yada yada, she Googled black booties, as in baby shoes, in front of a class full of freshmen, male chicks. Oh no. This is probably 15 years ago in class. I was looking for roosters and instead got pictures of guys in their underwear. As a software engine, I often Google latex terms. Sometimes I tend to forget that I need to specify that I'm looking for the text processing. School research project in grade 5. Google images, construction, road construction, construction workers, manholes, safe search on manholes. No, not manholes. No. What are some tips for someone with no fighting experience to win a fight? Always pull guard so he doesn't get any points for a takedown. If they've got their hands down, angled slightly or sort of looking away but keeping you in the corner of their eye, they're lining up for a sucker punch. Remember, there are no rules in a fight. If you aren't in a sanctioned sports competition, there is no such thing as dirty. That's my purse. I don't know you. Kick. Footwork is important. Stand so that a punch won't knock you over. Don't lean into a punch. Also, know what advantage you have over your opponent. If he's bigger than you, try to move to the side or behind him. Moving's harder for him, so make him move. If he's taller, get in close so his reach advantage is taken away. If he's lactose intolerant, throw milk in him. What is far deadlier than most people realize? Serious. Not sure if it's been said, but untreated sleep apnea. You literally stop breathing and get little quality sleep. The stress on your cardiovascular system is immense. Get tested, period. Then wear the CPAP no matter how unsexy it is, or maybe surgery to eliminate or reduce the problem. Driving while tired. All you need is that one slow part, or that one part that lulls even a little to put you out. Canoeing. People misjudge currents all the time. 12-year-old girl died here just last weekend. Grapefruit juice interacts with a lot of medication and could be very harmful to you depending on the medications you take. Essential oils. Do not put them in your food. They are not made to be food safe. Throwing a single punch. Here in Australia, it's been criminalized because fights in pubs and clubs are pretty common. The single punch isn't what causes an injury, but falling to the ground and hitting their head on the curb can kill, especially since drunk people don't usually have the capacity to soften their fall. Think twice before you risk losing or taking a life over losing your pride for a night. Holding your breath while scuba diving. To most people who don't scuba dive, it may sound harmless, but if you hold your breath and ascend even a little over a meter, you can suffer major lung damages as a result of the gas in your lungs expanding from the lessening pressure. Touching inside a guitar amp can f you up really bad. It holds a charge, and it all comes out at once if you touch the wrong spot. Going for runs on the roads at night without wearing lights or reflectors. Oftentimes, people even wear black. They think that just because they can see the car, that the car can see them. It only takes one accident to change someone's life completely. Eating a slug. Obviously, it's nasty, but kids do stupid as dares or even hazing rituals. Slugs contain parasites that will get into your brain and fucking kill you slowly. People who take out their phones to record strangers who are having bad days. Why? Especially the ones that use filming you as a threat. I was just doing my job one day when this customer got extremely upset because she wasn't getting her own way and got out her phone and stuck it in my face and started filming. I really wanted to grab it out of her hand and launch it as far as I could, but luckily I didn't take the bait and kept my job. Me and my friend were wearing our bathing suits at a water park and one of the staff members was taking video of us. So I went up to him and freaked out, demanding he show me he delete it. We were like 14 at the time and he was probably like 50. Now that I'm older and wiser, I should have reported him to the water park. I saw some creep taking a video of a homeless woman in Seattle who was obviously having a bad day. I confronted him and his response is, "I'm sending it to my wife who is a nurse." Yeah, right, dude. I'm sure she would appreciate all of the laughing you were doing while recording it. I'll never forget about that. If you see something, speak up for someone who might not be able to. I would also love to know, I'm a dwarf and I get random strangers filming me and taking photos all the fucking time. Whether I'm having a bad day or not, they are guaranteed to turn it into a bad day. I had a migraine at Disney Springs and was trying not to cry in the pain and some dude tried to sneakily film me. I glared at him before covering my face and turning away, so I would also like to know. Fake internet points. I have never done this, but I assume the reason is because once the person's soul is captured inside your camera, you can harvest the dark energy from it for spellbinding purposes. Because people have figured out that if your own life is shitty, you can feel better about yourself by seeking validation from others. Americans of Reddit, what is your opinion on switching to the metric system? I personally am all for it. What difference does it make when Big Tape Measure is lobbying with tens of dollars to keep inches so they don't have to paint more lines? My persuasive speech in high school speech class was about why we should convert. This was 20 years ago. I got a good grade, but people love multiplying and dividing by 25.4 apparently. Reports say a man in California was mugged and they beat him within millimeters of his life. If that means rounding up a 32-ounce beer to 1 liter, then yes please. A 12 centimeter long penis sounds much more impressive. I'm in. 12 centimeters to inch. Oh buddy, no. Americans will never accept a foreign ruler, not moving an inch. I'm fine with it, but a larger priority is getting rid of that damn daylight savings time. Have you ever woke up in the middle of a dream and the dream was so interesting that you wanted to go back to sleep to see the end of it? If so, what was that dream? I had a dream where I was a criminal being executed. In the beginning of the execution, platform fell forward and the people executing me died, and I was still alive. I was in the living playing a cello in front of my family. I was playing the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, but it sounded like a full-blown orchestra. And as I got to the end, I woke up from a smiling me playing the cello, and I am now sad. It sounded so good, too. Had a dream about a book series that I am 99.9% sure doesn't exist. Been researching a lot, so I'm planning on writing it. Any dream about falling in love. I once had a dream about reconnecting with my first love, and it was going great, but then I had the thought of, what if it was all a dream? Then I woke up, all distraught. I felt awful, but then there she was, and we were back together. It was so uplifting, until I actually woke up. What a way to play with your own emotions. Holy dude, I'm so sorry. I was stranded on an island. The dream felt like it lasted several days, so I wanted to go back to sleep and see if I survived or not. Actually did see the dream again. I survived and escaped on a boat and found a giant cargo ship. I remember me screaming, "Hey, boat!" over and over, and then it cuts off to me just walking around on the boat. Pretty odd, but it was interesting. I have lots of dreams that involve my grandfather who raised me. It used to upset me a bit because I could never go back to the dream or control when they occurred, but eventually I learned to appreciate them. He walked on from life 20 years ago, but it's really nice to see him every now and then, even if it's only in my dreams. I do it all the time. Last night, I dreamed I was on a luxurious cruise ship, the husband and my friends. We were just hanging out in different bars on the ship and going out to the deck to watch as the ship arrived at a tropical port. It was great, but I woke up before I knew where we were. I think that was the point of the dream. I'm happy, secure, but have no idea where the ship is going. The ship representing life, or the world, I guess. Yes, I dreamt I had a hot girlfriend. I was cuddling her in the bathroom, bizarrely, and was about to say, "I love you," when I woke up. Felt so real. I couldn't get back to the dream, though. Me and Lego Gandalf fight ghosts with axes. I nearly checkmated Kasparov in a chess game just to be woken up by the alarm. Bozo. Imagine dreaming about chess. I was abducted by aliens and sent to Venus. They told me to find ancient artifacts to prove their existence. I had one a while back that I was in a train station talking to MF Doom. We talked for a bit and the train pulled up. He got up and said, "This is my ride." We fist bumped and then he said, "Just remember, everything is bullshit." My alarm went off right as he walked through the door. What is the most obvious lie you have ever been told? I did not feed your dog any human food. My mom, while my dog pukes and shits all over my house. When a coworker told my own story back to me as his own, twice. In the early 90s, I was at work making $5 an hour, and a coworker looked at me straight in the eye and said he had bought a surface-to-air missile from China, kept it stored at his mom's house in a different city. What the f, dude? That's not even close to believable. My friend told me that getting a Peloton changed her life. I looked up her workout stats, and she had used it 4 times in 5 months of owning it. Her husband fared a little better with using it 9 times. Don't know why this annoyed me so much. My little girl told everyone in the supermarket that our cat died, and she was sad. We don't own a cat. Yeah, not anymore, it died. A childhood friend and I met up for coffee one day after not meeting for a few years. He casually let it slip that ever since he earned a black belt, he has had to register with the state as a human weapon. Yeah, okay, buddy. Sure. I never said you had to sign the document if it wasn't true. Says the person with 3 emails telling me to sign a document, even after I said it wasn't true, sitting on her outbox. My brother told me I was a dragon, and I totally believed him. Man, was I a dumb kid, but now I'm a dumb adult. Any lieutenant saying the platoon can go home early on a Friday if you work hard right now. I can finish this Civ game tonight. As a tax accountant, I'm told lies about how much money people actually made all the time during tax season. My favorite was a guy telling me he's broke because he only makes $35,000 a year in New York City, so my very reasonable fee is too much for him. He says this after he asks me if he can deduct the new BMW 5 Series he just bought his son all cash. The company is in a great shape, so don't pay any attention to the rumors about financial trouble. When my little brother mixed like 50 condiments, including sprinkles, ketchup, cereal, and stuff into a bag of popcorn and ate it, telling us it was delicious when his face looked like he had just ate 10 extremely sour warheads at once. He later admitted he just wanted us to eat it, but we never did. I did brush my teeth, I swear. What's the weirdest thing you've seen happen at a friend's house that they thought was normal? When I was in high school, a friend asked me and 2 other friends to his house for dinner. His mom served homemade bean soup, which was very good. Toward the end of the main course, she brought out chocolate cake for dessert. She cut each of us a slice and plopped it into our bowls, in which we still had about an inch of soup. Us guests exchanged puzzled glances, but the family dug right in. So apparently chocolate cake soaked in bean soup was an ordinary thing for them. My childhood best friend lived with his grandparents. His grandfather was a clockmaker. He mostly restored them. Their large 2-story house's walls were covered in old restored grandfather and cuckoo clocks. Each one had a small sticker with a number so he could keep track of them all. The highest number I saw was over 700. I would say 25% of them were wound, so every hour you were treated to a symphony of clocks. I didn't appreciate it when I was a kid, but those clocks were fantastic pieces of workmanship. Rich friend's family had rooms not touched in weeks that had vomit on the bed sheets from their parties. Ew! What? Someone was in the bathroom, so the kid who lived there went into the back garden, took a in the flower bed, and shoveled dirt on top of it. The bathroom was free by the time he'd finished. Some of my friends spit in her house straight onto the carpet. I didn't go back. When I was a kid, the neighbor's TV always at 75% volume or higher. They'd literally sit in the living room and scream at each other over the TV on blast. One time I was at my friend's house while his dad was working late. His mom brought home 2 Little Caesars pizzas for us, his brother and his parents. By the time his dad got home from work, there was no pizza, so his dad just made himself a salad for dinner, and no one got screamed at until they cried. Oh no. I have an opposite one because I had the weird family. In high school, I had a sleepover, and one of my friends went to the kitchen in the middle of the night and saw my dad inebriated in his underwear and stained shirt on his knees in front of the fridge drinking mustard out of the bottle. Monday rolls around and the rumors have spread, and I was like, wait, all your dads don't do that too? LOL. By the way, he did in fact have his own separate mustard bottle. I had a friend in high school whose mother was from Jamaica. His family would colon cleanse together every year. I guess it was customary from his mom's culture, so they literally take medicine to make themselves their brains out for a day or two every year. Notable mention, they only had one bathroom. Oh my god. A neighbor's dad was an avid fisherman, and he would use those electrode things in the lawn to get worms to come up that he was going to use as bait. He would also eat some of the first ones to come up to check if they tasted right. I'm going to throw up. If not, he would remove the electrodes and try again another day. Serve ice cream with their hands? What? Everyone took their shirts off at the dinner table. Yeah, my friend got backhanded across his kitchen. He slid across the floor to me. After about a 5 count, he got up and went and played chess. What is the scariest, creepiest theory you know about? This isn't a theory, but I just think it's cool. You know how movies and shows always have this ancient alien race that came way before us and we're the new species? Well, technically, most likely that's wrong. We are near the beginning of the universe. If the universe was a person, we would literally barely be a cell, not even form. In reality, we are the ancient species. We are the ones that come before. We are the ones some future civilization may see. Just a crazy thing to think about, that a robot could fail the Turing test if it wanted to. Some smart people I know say life extension tech will exponentially explode in the next century, transforming adult lifespans the same way antibiotics, vaccines, and survival sanitation. What? Transforming adult lifespans the same way antibiotics, vaccines, and sanitation irrevocably transform childhood survival rates. If we hadn't blocked stem cell research, we could be the ones living youthful, nearly disease-free lives, but we've missed our chance by 1 or 2 generations. That my mother-in-law keeps accidentally leaving things at my house because she is slowly moving in. The theory that last moments of consciousness before death can feel like a literal eternity, and where your mind can create entire realities from blissful to horrifying, so in a way the threat of enduring a hellscape of eternal suffering is very real, no matter what you believe. Our world is our perception of our surroundings in our 3-dimensional life. It's possible that we are living amongst beings, things, and events that we cannot experience because we are 3 dimensions and they are not. The one thing that bugs me was the one about the guy who was last seen in an airport. There's a video of him just wigging the f*** out and running away at full speed. They linked surveillance footage and you can see him run all the way off the premises. He was never seen again. There's a lot of theories about what happened, none I want to look into. We could be a brain in someone's basement, just imagining our whole life and everyone we meet. The theory that Carson Wentz and Prince Harry switched lives in 2019, and that's why Wentz sucks at football and Harry left the royal family. The butterfly effect. It makes me feel like deciding whether to choose black shirts or white shirts would increase or decrease my chance of dying young. Edit. I wore a blue undershirt. I wonder what will happen. I'm in a nursing home with dementia in 2060, and all I'm doing is reliving this moment of November 2020. This was a bad thread to read before going to bed. What is something that has aged well? The word cool. Denim in general. Lego. Even music I hated when it was new sounds good because of nostalgia. Old Nintendo games. The speedrun community alone speaks for this. It's crazy how much hype there still is for 20, 30-year-old single-player games. My 84-year-old mother who still walks 3 miles a day and has all her wits about her. Tetris. Still addictive. I sometimes get hallucinations of falling pieces after playing. The earlier episodes of The Simpsons. The Twilight Zone. The series premiered in 1959, and so many of the episodes still hold up today because of its brilliant writing. Jurassic Park. I still think the visuals look great in that movie, even if it were to be released today. Incredibly, some very old photography. Sure, they might be now in digital and whatever, but the composition, attention to detail, there's just so much. Paul Rudd. True, that guy's old as hell, and he still looks good. Arabic numerals, or what most people call numbers. Since around 500 AD, it's been 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the entire world uses. What do you genuinely not understand? How can we lose so much hair every day and still have hair stay consistent length, especially people who have long hair? How I get taller and more handsome every time my grandma sees me? Why I continue to procrastinate and self-sabotage? This is totally due to me not looking it up, but I don't know how dry cleaning works. The order of emails in a Gmail thread. Chemistry. I only passed because my professor curved every F to a C. Sudden motivation at midnight. Why does the word fridge have a letter D in it, while refrigerator does not? How these dogs that have these dense bangs hanging over their eyes can can see a single goddamn thing. Why the f does my brain only realize I'm wrong after I've already done it? Bitcoin mining. Solving algorithms? What? Who? Why? Why do people seem so miserable as parents decide to have more kids? Really, I do not get how a needle in a record player bouncing back and forth can create such rich sound. What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could? Asking a potential employer what the salary for a position is before jumping through 50 hoops with the application interview process, only to find out pay is crap. If other people are at my house having fun but I'm tired, I just want to be able to go to bed. They can stay and have a good time. Short naps at work. Staying completely silent in other people's company. The IRS telling you how much you owe in taxes. People in the service industry should be able to tell a customer when they're being an asshole. Taking a social timeout without having to smoke or occupy the bathroom. My workday is 6 to 8 hours. It's an open plan office. Lunch is social, and I have at least an hour commute per day. That's at least twice my maximum social energy per day. I would like to make it socially acceptable to tell employers that you're only in it for the money, and it being a legitimate answer. What am I supposed to tell employers that I always wanted to work at a part-time job and get yelled at by Karens so I could just make ends meet? Sitting, on the floor, or anywhere, really. People who don't get stressed during a presentation, school, or work, what's your secret? Experience. I used to get nervous, and now I don't. Not sure when or why it happened. Honestly, just remembering that most likely no one is paying attention anyway, especially if it's school. I get so stressed before the presentation that the actual presentation comes off as a relief. I'm vain, and I love attention. How I handle boring that's where the neuroses are. Preparation. I know that may sound like a cheap answer, but it's honestly my best hedge against anxiety. I don't remember the people that bomb presentations because they aren't as formative memories. No matter how much I bomb this presentation, no one will remember in a month, especially since they are stressed about their own presentation. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always stressed.
What's a TV show's opening credits you never skip? Ooh, that's a hard one. I think it might be a toss-up between Friends and Evangelion, honestly. DuckTales. Woo! Excellent choice. I almost forgot about them. Breaking Bad, because it's too short to skip it. Intro goes hard, though. I hope you liked that acapella rendition. Futurama. I can only hear it so many times, but it is still good. I'm not saying it's bad. Netflix series called Dark. That music set the tone for the series every time. I've never heard of that, so next answer? Malcolm in the Middle. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Top Gear. It's short and the Tonight highlights were always funny. The Simpsons. Heard this on a podcast with Danny Elfman, the theme composer. He had no health insurance, but because he did the harmonies and sang The Simpsons at the beginning, he was able to get SAG insurance, and he's had it ever since. He also says he is vastly underpaid for the royalties. I mean, yeah, for a series that's gone this long, well, Danny Elfman has plenty under his belt, so never mind. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh, so good. Oh, now this is a story all about how my life got... I need to stop. I can't. The FBI recently broke into Donald Trump's safe. What do you think he keeps in it? Well, we know the answer, sort of, but what are the speculations? The safe combination. It's the safest place for it. He's definitely keeping a stack of McDonald's coupons in there. The good ones. 1 free Big Mac, no expiration date. Stacks and stacks of those $5 gift card books. 10 times 50-cent gift cards from the 80s. A few collectible glasses, too. A stack of printed out NFT images in black and white. Why black and white, though? You guys are deplorable. Talking about a former president like this, spray tan is the answer. Okay, you had me in the first half. One of his Horcruxes. He's got to keep it safe and close to him, right? Like, I mean, come on. We'll find the other ones, though. We'll find them. His good crayons. Well, yeah, you got to keep the secret stash. 72% complete MAGA coloring books, mostly in the lines. Nah, that man goes outside the line. You think he's following the rules? A copy of Home Alone 2 with his scene still in it. You are given the power to alter one thing by 1%. What do you change to cause the most chaos? Milk. 3% milk? You monster! There already is 3% milk. It's called whole milk. So wait, whole milk isn't 100% milk? What is it? Number of atoms in the known universe. I don't know exactly how that would affect things, but I know it's not good. Human chromosome. Again, I don't know how that's gonna affect it, but it will be bad. Speed of light. Are you making it 1% faster or 1% slower? We need specifics. I would shrink every keyhole in the world by 1%. Truly evil. But locksmiths will be happy until they can't unlock the van with the tools in it. The number of living people. 1% of the total population suddenly dies at random. That's gonna cause a ton of chaos. Easy there, Thanos. No. He's still 49% off. Diet Thanos. Hand sanitizer now kills 100.99% of germs. What does that extra 0.99% do? I'm sort of worried about it myself. Congratulations, you've cured disease. Cured life. Pi. Is pi that important where it would cause chaos? Like, I'm not a mathematician, clearly, so I don't know what that would do. What accents do you find least attractive? Ornate curtain rods. Throw pillows with uncomfortable fabric textures. Are these, like accents in the accent furniture? I get it, okay. My own. I have a thick Mancunian accent and my dialect is a mess. I'll provide an example as best I can. Normal. Hello, how are you? I'm good. I'm going to the shop. I will see you soon. Me? Yeti, mate? What's been going on that? Nah, mate, I'm sound. Me just nipping fucking shopping that for some cigs and in it. Fucking text me in a bit, yeah? Alright? In a bit, man. Safe G. Let's all just agree that I didn't make the worst accent possible. Like, you just will never speak of this again. People mentioning Birmingham accents. I started watching Peaky Blinders and have to ask if this is an accurate representation. Ozzy Osbourne is probably the best representation of a Birmingham accent. Most people think he talks like that because of the years of drug abuse, but that's just how Brummies talk. People from Northern Ireland sound like they want to murder you, but they're just saying hello. Regional accent from the UK. Birmingham. By God, it makes people sound so thick. I didn't mean to read that like the sexy thick. Never mind. I've heard myself talk. Chicago. Currently living in Chicago and raising my children here. I'm worried if I start hearing that accent in their speech, I might have to move. My wife is convinced we can teach them to speak without it. Valley Girl. Absolute cringe. Like, totally. Oh my God. Gag me with a spoon. My mom really likes the Valley Girl joke, so I know what it is. Valley Girl American. Bonus points for a heavy vocal fry after every single sentence. I think that's as close as I'm gonna get. Bogan Aussie. Don't know what that sounds like, and I won't try. What's that song that makes you feel good no matter what? Mine is... Mine is Happy by Pharrell. It just gets me going. Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. Island in the Sun. Can you get any more nostalgic? Banana Phone. It's a silly song that my husband used to sing sometimes. I like to play it to annoy him. LOL. Hypnotized by Biggie. It just hit me at 11 years old and never left. It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. When I had my alarm set to the radio, the local station would always play that on Friday mornings when my alarm went off. Now that song just reminds me of waking up for high school. Oh, well, that's a bummer, kinda. Sultans of Swing. Groove is in the Heart by D-Light. Hotel California. That solo is sweet AF. What was life like before the internet? Better, I would say. Well, it's debatable. A lot more. Oh, I know that actor. What's his name? I can't remember. Everyone. Oh well. But for like every bit of trivia, etc. Homework, then go outside and hang out with friends. See, it used to be common for everyone to go touch grass once in a while. You should try it. Not without its problems, but just more relaxed. I don't know. I just read Goosebumps and played video games. Lots of Super Nintendo for me. The library was where you went to get knowledge. There was this thing called a card catalog you used to find books of a certain type. Then you would find a book on the topic you were interested in and maybe read the index to find out if a specific thing is mentioned on some page. Then read it. I had an encyclopedia set and I would just read it randomly to gain knowledge when I couldn't sleep. If you wanted software for a computer, you would go to a store that sold stuff on discs. People wrote letters and mailed them to communicate or made phone calls on landlines. It cost extra money to call long distance. If you wanted an item, you would call stores and ask if they had it, then physically go there and buy it. It was different in the early 90s before the internet. Think about the times you were out with your friends. Now imagine having no cell phones, which means no contact with anyone that isn't in your current area. That's what it was like. like, except all the time. We used to draw pictures on the walls of our caves, and Tarok would tell of stories when the buffaloes would cover as much land as the eye could see. And then they invented the internet. Which job did you quit fastest? Ooh, mine is I worked at an Amazon warehouse for 4 days. I had a mental breakdown, got extremely sick, I couldn't do it. Dunkin' Donuts. A customer threw their donuts and hot coffee at me. I dodged. My manager apologized to them and gave them a discount. Couldn't leave that job fast enough. Ooh, I must stay my tongue. I cannot speak on these customer service interactions because, ooh, baby. Cold calling senior citizens to sell them overpriced insurance who had already been cold called previously. I worked for 2 hours at a Burger King before I quit. I was only scheduled 11 hours of work after being promised at least 25, and they cut me halfway through my first shift because it was slow. That was quick. No, it was slow. Amazon warehouse. I can't tell you to not work for Amazon, but I consider everything else. Graveyard shift at a 7-Eleven in a seedy neighborhood. Lasted one night. It was a store full of nope, especially at 3 a.m. It was only a matter of time before you'd be robbed there. Or worse, expelled? Toys R Us. I needed a part-time job, and they sent me home early on my first day because they hadn't met the sales goals for the previous day. They told me they didn't make enough to pay me. I asked them if money was that tight, then why did they post that job and hire me? I quit on the spot. The store isn't even there anymore, but it closed a while before the company itself fell apart. I was 14 and got a job through a family friend at a leather tannery. It paid $3 an hour. I showed up and was handed a pair of gloves. They had holes in them. My job was to cover raw cow hides with salt. I would cover one side, then flip and cover the other side. I quit at lunch. I showered 3 times that day and could not get the stink off of me. I went back to mowing the neighborhood lawns for some spending cash. $3? Family, friends, or not? That's illegal. Let alone 14 and working. I worked at a movie theater for about 4 hours. I quit when someone threw a drink at me because it wasn't carbonated enough. What's something that kids aren't scared of, but adults are? Taxes. I'm not scared of them because I don't understand them. Getting older. Kids want to. We don't. Time. I'm not so much scared of time as I am confused on how it works. Once again, I'm not smart. Being honest. I once babysat this 7-year-old who asked me why I am fat. LOL. It hurts, but it was true. Head injuries. They seem determined to collect as many as possible. Well, kids are like indestructible, you know? They're like bones or jelly. That's never mind. Kids themselves. I'd say kids are scared of kids. Making friends. This one doesn't really apply either. Kids don't like making friends. Like, they are more willing to be friends with a snail they found in the yard than their 3rd grade class. Falling down. My kids are fearless. I lost a few weeks' pay once because I twisted my knee slipping on ice. Someone climbing down the chimney and leaving a present in your house. Well, yeah, when the kids know that person could be bringing them a PlayStation, of course they're not scared of them breaking and entering. What superpower would be absolutely useless in battle, but useful in everyday life? Really good at cooking, man. Well, if we go off of like Breath of the Wild like logic, then you could make food that gives you more health, so you never know. The super amazing ability to unprocrastinate. That's called being normal, unfortunately. Q-Man. Able to cut immediately to the front of long lines at any store, event, or restaurant without ramifications or upsetting anyone. A spider sense that alerts you when something in your fridge has expired. Why alert when it's expired? Alert when it's about to. Coffee never cold, man. Astral projection. Great for intel. Terrible for combat. Anything you eat is healthy. Pizza is a vegetable. What is something ethical but illegal? Putting money in other people's parking meters which are about to expire. I hate that that's illegal. Like, why? It's charity. In some parts of the US, politicians have made it illegal to feed the homeless. Like with an open table of free food you'll hand out to anyone who comes up. And this is clearly something ethical to do. Churches are the main ones violating such laws. Taking food that was going to be thrown away, especially as an employee. When I worked at Jimmy John's at the end of the night, if we didn't sell all of the bread or we made too much, we would just have to throw it away. And it was like we were not allowed to bring it to a homeless shelter or take it home with us because they wanted more money. Children selling lemonade without a license. I've seen videos of grown adults calling the cops on kids selling lemonade. It's pathetic. Those adults should get a charge for wasting time and resources. Pirating media no longer available for sale.
Nintendo.
In some parts of the US, it is illegal to give out water to voters waiting in line to vote. Collecting rainwater for irrigation. I still don't understand how that one's illegal. Like, it's from the sky, homie. Giving water to undocumented immigrants crossing the southern border. Because God forbid you let human beings going through some have something to survive the desert. What's something you are really good at? If you haven't guessed, I'm really good at being stupid. Ruining everything I enjoy for myself. Hey, I do that too. Talking nonsense. Breathing. I'm so good at it. Until you forget how to breathe for a split second. Does that happen to everyone, or am I crazy? Guessing how many jelly beans / pennies / marbles / items are in a jar / bowl / etc. All those like, guess how many beans and win a prize? Yeah, that's my right there. My best was one time when I was off by only one marble in a 5-gallon bucket full of marbles. Back then, I was really good at getting almost anyone to do what I wanted. Looking back, I may have been gaslighting them without knowing. Well, at least you aren't in denial. Congrats. Username checks out. What's the username? Huge influence? Oh, yeah, I guess it does check out. You have $10 million for a new home. What is the must-have feature you will build? Walls. Okay, smarty. Get out of here. Heated driveway. No more shoveling. I honestly never thought of something like that. That's awesome. A library. And somewhere to play musical instruments. 30-seat home theater. Ooh, that's kind of a nice idea. Now you just gotta pay for 30 people to come and watch a movie with you. Get it? Because you don't have any friends. Never mind. A $5 million backyard. That makes people want to spend the night out there. It's so pleasant. Ooh, I also want one of those showers that has like 50 heads all pointing towards me in the center. Ups, downs, side to side. I want to stand in a full torrent of water, like a car wash, only with more coverage. I think it should be legally required that any home a Smash player lives in has this shower. Secret passages. I yearn for a house with secret passages. I just want somebody to make the Resident Evil mansion. Like, make it a cool experience. Secret passages, puzzles, deadly traps, the works. What is the dumbest way you've been injured? Lifted my leg to fart to annoy a room full of people and hurt my back. I sat on my own testicle. I've been sitting with balls successfully for 41 years, but I guess I am not that great at it. The pain was on a molecular level. A dog tripped me up, then another one stood on my head. I was trying to impress a girl by showing off my amazing vertical leap and touching the top of a stop sign. I did it, but there was a rusty nail on the post holding it up that I didn't see. I basically kneed it, and the thing pierced my skin and ripped my leg open like it had been zippered closed. She looked pretty impressed as I walked home with it bleeding all over the place. I once put a plugged-in charger onto my tongue and couldn't taste anything for a week. I tripped over a toy car and sprained my ankle. I literally kicked a radiator, breaking my foot, got kicked in the hand and broke and dislocated my finger, fell out of a door and dislocated my shoulder, went running and fell, tearing a ligament in my ankle, got a concussion from walking into a door, tried to act cool in front of a girl and slipped, breaking my arm. Yeah, I'm very clumsy. How famous are you? In my house, I'm pretty famous. I'm the guy who fixes things and cooks things. When I was 5, I was the first documented case of E. coli from hunted white-tailed deer. My case apparently solved a mystery of how apple cider from an orchard gave a bunch of people E. coli, or something like that. I was 5 at the time. My memory is a bit fuzzy, but I've seen the article about me in a medical journal. Username checks out. What's the poop McButts? Come on. Small town famous. I'm the guy run over by a dump truck. Now I'm the only guy in a wheelchair. Oh my god, you're the dump truck boy? I can't believe it's actually Johnny Dump Truck. My dogs think I'm the main character. Hi, I'm the author. You are the main character. 2 street dogs know me very well. I feed them. I'm not even sure I've heard of me. I once got a like on Instagram by the Blues Brothers official account run by Judy Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Guess I've never been more famous before or after that. I got 9 upvotes once. A true influencer. And look at you now, you got 2.1K. What's your favorite word starting with R and ending with T? Ricochet. Imagine learning a language and realizing that ricochet, ashtray, way, fillet, and entree all rhyme. English is broken. I don't know how to... Ooh. Ratatat? Ratata? Ratatata? I never learned how to say it. Mason's gonna kick my ass. Robot, but pronounced the way Zoidberg says robot. Root. Can't believe no one said this yet. Rainforest. Okay. Rindfleisch. No, not saying it. Not trying. Ernt. Pronounced ernt. It's what I say to my dog dog to get his attention. Rabbit. Ooh, close one, but it's supposed to be spelt with a W. You wascally wabbits. You're not gonna hear him say you wascally rabbits. Come on. What's a smell that was so bad it's practically burned into your nostrils when memorizing it? The smell of a badly decomposing body. Why do you know what that smells like? How do you know what that smells like? Found a Tupperware in the back of the fridge and cracked it open. It was some broccoli that had been in there for a long time. Smell almost knocked me out. The smell of burning hair. Why is that one so potent? I don't get it. Rotten boiled egg. Some Eastern European countries have a tradition for Easter where you keep one of the painted Easter eggs for the entire year. Horror. When me and my homies were making a small robot car-like thing, due to some malfunctions, the circuit board started to heat up and smoke came out. I was laying on my side in the floor close to the car and that smoke went through my nose. It was like smell of plastic, rubber, and weird medicine mixed up, and we switched that thing off before it got into flames. What words sound totally different to how they're spelt? Half the English dictionary. It's all written the same, but yet pronounced completely different. But and put. Worcestershire. Yeah, because it's actually pronounced Worcestershire. Epitome. This is what I was looking for. I was 27 before I learned this one. Figured epitome and epitome were two different words with the same or similar meaning. Laugh and cough. English is broken. I'll say it until I die. Arkansas. America, explain. What do you mean it's Arkansas? Psychology. That one kind of looks correct to me, at least. Words are spelled. Spelt is a kind of wheat. Okay, genius. Get out of here. Get him out of here. The phone rings. You answer, and a voice says, 7 days. What are you going to do? It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Be relieved that it's not the car extended warranty people. Nah, they're waiting on the other line. There are like 4 people I answer the phone for, so I'd probably just ask for clarification. I would say, can't wait, hang up and forget about it. Honestly, that's probably the easiest option. Just like ignore it and then you'll die in 7 days. Who knows? What's the weirdest thing you found left behind in a home you moved into? There was some cheap jewelry hidden in the air intake vent and a ruler in the ceiling of my closet. My mother weirdly insisted someone had been measuring their with it. Why did mom go to that first? The house was built in the early 1700s, but modernized many times. There was a small bathroom where they had cut a square hole to reveal the original insulation, clay, and pine needles. The previous tenants' kids. Crazy if true, but I feel like you're lying. A tiny used bar of soap left on the bathroom sink. The rest of the house was completely empty and spotless. Ritual pentagrammic-like symbols hidden under the carpet. A beer bottle full of love letters inside a wall. Found it during remodeling. Turns out the couple divorced before the house was finished. Hundreds of 2-liter soda bottles filled up with pee in the basement. The family's son must have been a Redditor who was too lazy to walk up the stairs to go to the toilet. What is a well-known film franchise that would have worked just as well or even better if the first film was a standalone? I don't know if Wonder Woman counts, but that sequel had no business being made. I thought the first one was really fun, but the second one was absolutely insane, and I felt dumber for having watched it. Jurassic Park. Yeah, I think right now, at least, it's gone a little too far. Highlander. There can be only one. Not if the studio has anything to say about it. Jaws and The Matrix. No, the Matrix trilogy is great. The new one, meh. Jaws? Sure, yeah, I mean, they killed the shark. Come on. Home Alone. Those sequels are like the answer to an AskReddit question. How would you ruin your friend's favorite movie sequel? Pirates of the Caribbean. No, come on. Like, yeah, they went too far in the franchise, but the first 3 are great. The Hangover. The second one was just a complete copy of the first. The third one sucked. Ghostbusters. Well, you don't want to see more of Dan Aykroyd blasting ghosts with a laser? What's the biggest thing you've seen change since you were a small child? My mom. She divorced my dad when I was 12, left with absolutely nothing, and blossomed. I'm incredibly proud of her. Seeing her happy is amazing. In 1994, there was no internet. Then suddenly, by 1997, there was. People have no idea how huge that really was. I'm currently listening to music, driving a big rig in VR, and chatting with y'all at the same time. That literally was not possible when I was 10. I'm gonna have to ask you to put the phone down, stop typing on Reddit, because you've got that load to deliver, and if you're driving and texting, unbelievable. 4 TV channels. You watched a show when it aired. You waited for commercial breaks before you went to the bathroom, and you could only watch one show at a time on the big 19-inch screen in the TV room. I used to be the youngest one at all family gatherings. Now I'm one of the oldest. The number of people with tattoos. I'm honestly super hyped that tattoos are more like normalized because they're so cool. They're cool. I like it. What's something about nature that you're absolutely obsessed with? Rain. It's absolutely beautiful and mesmerizing. I love cloudy days because hopefully rain is coming soon. The double slit experiment still blows my freaking mind. Oh boy, I don't know what that means, so I get to do homework. The night sky, especially away from any light pollution. I still really want to go to one of those like dark sky parks because God, it would be so magic to see that. Mushrooms. Now, are we talking about the like shiitake or like the whoa. Trees. As simple as that one is, yeah, I agree. Like going into the forest is just, it's a magic experience. That parasite that eats a fish's tongue and then replaces it functioning as a tongue. No, you like that? For me, I react to shooting stars and extraordinary lightning bolts with the same level of, holy shit, that was fucking sick. How dangerous are you? About as dangerous as a marshmallow. I don't know why I gave you that accent. There's a good chance I could fight my way out of a wet paper bag. About as dangerous as a floor mop. You clearly don't know proper applications of a floor mop. I will bite the skin between your fingers. Okay, calm down. That is an awful profile picture, by the way. Damn it. I can change out the 5-gallon water jug without spilling a drop. I have a 1 in 10 chance of guessing the last digit of a phone number correctly. I have successfully crowd-surfed an online concert. I've developed a buckshot slingshot using only soaked coffee grounds, and it's mostly silenced. The only thing that online concert? How? Explain that one, please. Physically, I'd get my handed to me by a cockroach. Mentally, on the other hand, I would still get my handed to me by a cockroach. I put cereal after milk. Throw this one in jail. Throw him in Guantanamo. Very. Ooh, scary. Okay, I'll believe you. What's the first word you think of that starts with the letter D? Unfortunately, just due to the circles I'm in, D's came to mind first. Dick fur. What's a dick fur? Writing your name in the snow. Ah, classic. Dude. Whoa, no need for name calling. Dinosaur. Dragon. Dragon what? Dermatology. How is that the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe they're a dermatologist. That's a fair point, but that's not a normal thought process. My vocabulary is prodigious. Diamond. They must be a real Minecraft head. Cause they got diamonds on the, who cares? David. That's my middle name. Don't use it. Dunno. Good answer. What is your favorite word? That's honestly a really hard one to pick. So let's just see what other people said. Phlegm. It's the best hangman word. No one ever gets it. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Is that a real word? I guess I'll have to check now. Oh boy, it is a real word. Yeah, I'm not giving the definition. Moist. Oddly enough, my least favorite. Yeah, you and everybody else. Pretentious. That is honestly a good word, especially in arguments. It shuts them down. You're being real pretentious right now. No, I'm not. Crusty. It is a really good adjective. Why they gotta say it like short? Pneumano ultramicroscopic silica volcanoconiosis. That's as close as I'm getting. Not taking that one again. Nope. Word. That is a pretty good word.